We turn now to the tragedy in Tucson. Investigators have put together a timeline of what Jared Loughner did before he allegedly went on a deadly rampage, offering some insight into that day. The president, meantime, is headed to Tucson later today, where he will address a memorial service for the victims. Joining us now with the very latest on the situation in Tucson is CBS News national correspondent Ben Tracy. Ben, good morning.
Good morning, Erica. You know, it's been 4 days since the shootings here in Tucson, and the nerve is still very raw. But when the Obamas arrive here later today, they're also going to find a city that's trying to heal these families and the city at large. And that's because memorials and funerals are now taking place.
Everyone in our community is in grief.
Amid profound grief, there is still a message of hope. Inside this Catholic church where the youngest victim, 9-year-old Christina Taylor Green, sang in the children's choir, people of all faiths gathered to pray for the victims and their wounded city.
Love each other, forgive each other, and work for justice and for peace.
Among the mourners were Green's parents, yet along with the pain is the painstaking process of building a case against the alleged gunman, 22-year-old Jared Lee Loughner. Investigators revealed 2 more disturbing pieces of evidence. First, a note inside Loughner's home with the words "Die Bitch" written on it. Also, the morning of the shootings, Loughner's father confronted him when he saw him remove a black bag from the trunk of their car. But Loughner took off running before he could speak to him about it. His parents released a statement apologizing to the victims' families. "There are no words that can possibly express how we feel. We wish that there were, so we could make you feel better. We don't understand why this happened." One neighbor says the Loughners can't stop crying.
How would you feel if your son did it? You'd feel like you're to blame for the people getting shot. He just deeply grieved about it.
While Jared Lee Loughner is behind bars in Phoenix, doctors in Tucson remain optimistic about Congresswoman Gifford's recovery. She's now breathing on her own, and one doctor says he is 101% confident she'll survive. New photos show the Congresswoman's husband at her bedside the day after the shooting, holding her hand.
President Obama is scheduled to speak at that memorial event tonight at the University of Arizona. Meanwhile, the Arizona legislature passed some emergency legislation yesterday that bars protesters from within 300 feet of any of these funerals. And believe it or not, the reason they had to do that is because some members of a Kansas church plan to come down here and picket some of these funerals. They say they're doing that because they believe the shootings are God's punishment on the United States for tolerating homosexuality. Erica?
Which is something that is just unthinkable that someone would consider that. Ben Tracy, appreciate the update. Thanks.